Hi, my name is Lyric, and today we are going. Finally, by the way, we're back. Definitely didn't just not upload for 2 months, but be quiet. But we're actually back, and we're gonna start with the consistent uploads again because we're into the Beatles' journey of going through the solo albums. We reacted to one Beatles solo album so far. That was McCartney by Paul McCartney. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was not my favorite. I really did. I didn't have much enjoyment of it, other than maybe a few songs. But this is something very different because this is largely considered the best, from what people have been saying, the best Beatles solo album of any of the members. I'm really excited for it because I love George Harrison, all his Beatles songs. Absolutely fantastic. Especially towards the end there, he progressively got better with the Beatles songs. So I'm assuming he's about to hit an absolute peak right here with this album. So this is All Things Must Pass by George Harrison. So we're gonna begin this album reaction off by looking at the album cover. By the way, if you want to look at my channel, Beatles Journey, you want to see all my Beatles reactions to all the other Beatles albums, and you want to keep up, subscribe to this channel, Lyric Reacts Music, if you want to keep together, if you want to see the future Beatles solo albums and other music reactions we're gonna do on this channel. But yeah, so let's look at this album cover starting off here, and it's honestly kind of hard because this is, I think, the more hair the Beatles have consistently, they've been better at music. Just straight up, the more hair they grew, the better at music they got. I'm just saying. So yeah, I'd put this is so this is George Harrison, a lot of hair, so that means a lot of good music's about to come. 100%. That's what that means. Yeah. So let's begin getting a little background on the album. This is gonna be just a quick overview that I like to do now. We're just getting the bare minimum just to know what we're getting into, just so we're not we can appreciate what's gonna happen in case we're just confused the whole time and stuff, and get some background on what we should appreciate about the album. So All Things Must Pass is the third studio album by George Harrison. I don't know what the first two are, maybe I should go back to them. But yeah, released as a triple album. Yeah, this is a very long album. This is gonna be a very long video if you didn't know. This album is an hour and 46 minutes long. The White Album was my video reacting to the White Album was like 3 hours long, and that's an hour and a half album. This is an hour 46. So we're gonna be talking for quite a bit, but that's fine. Just get your seatbelt in. Maybe watch like me react to disc 1, then disc 2. There'll be chapters in the bottom where you can skip to whatever song you want. But yeah, so it was Harrison's first solo work after the breakup of the Beatles in April that year. Released in November 1970, by the way. It includes the hit singles "My Sweet Lord," "What Is Life," as well as songs like "Isn't It a Pity." We heard "Isn't It a Pity" in the Get Back documentary. I've only reacted to 2 out of 3 parts. We're going to react to the third part pretty soon. That's on the Lyric Reacts Media channel, if you want to go to that, or it's in the Beatles Journey playlist on this channel. We heard that at the very end of Get Back Part 2 when he leaves the band. He's like, I think I'm going to be leaving the band now. So we heard that then. And yeah, so I'm assuming a lot of these were songs that got kind of rejected as a Beatles song, because this is like right after the Beatles broke up. Like Let It Be, released just earlier this year, and Abbey Road about a year earlier. So a lot of these, I'm assuming, were made during Beatles sessions. They just didn't accept his fucking songs, or he just didn't want them to be Beatles songs because he didn't want to get bossed around on his fucking songs, which makes sense. He obviously was mad about Paul about that in the Get Back documentary. Isn't It a Pity, and the title track. Oh yeah, we saw also him beginning to work on the title track in the Get Back documentary as well, so that's interesting. I want to see if we're going to see any of these songs get worked on in part 3 of that documentary. But yeah, have been overlooked, that had been overlooked for inclusion on the releases by the Beatles. Yeah, okay. This album reflects influences of Harrison's musical activities with artists such as Bob Dylan, the band, Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, and Billy Preston during 1968-70, and his growth as an artist beyond his supporting role to former bandmates John Lennon and Paul McCartney. All Things Must Pass introduced Harrison's signature slide guitar sound and the spiritual themes present throughout his subsequent solo work. Yeah, I'm assuming there's going to be hella... I'm assuming if we don't get a sitar on this album, I'm going to be hella shocked. All his Beatles songs, like damn near half of them, he always had the sitar and that shit. Always something spiritual about him. He's a very spiritual guy. Big fan of Indian culture. Yeah. The original vinyl release consisted of 2 LPs of the song and a third disc of informal jams titled Apple Jam. Several commentators interpret Barry Feinstein's album cover photo showing Harrison surrounded by 4 garden gnomes as a statement of his independence from the Beatles. That would make sense, yeah. Production began at London DMI Studios in May 1970 with extensive overdubbing and mixing continuing through October. Among the Among the large cast of backing musicians were Eric Clapton and members of Delaney and Bonnie's Friends Band, three of who formed Derek and the Dominoes with Clapton during the recording. Okay, yeah, I know George Harrison, very close to Eric Clapton until other events transpired. As well as Ringo Starr. We got Ringo on the album. Let's go, boys. This is like half a Beatles album. We got two of them in here. Gary Wright, Billy Preston, Klaus Vorman, Josh Barnum, Badfinger, and Pete Drake. The sessions produced a double album's worth of extra material, most of which remains unissued. Okay. All Things Must Pass was critically and commercially successful on release, with long stays at number 1 on charts worldwide. Co-producer Phil Spector. Now we know we're not the over here. We're not the biggest fan of Phil Spector. I wasn't a massive fan of his production on Let It Be, though I have since then I've listened to the Let It Be album quite a bit, and I have gotten more accustomed to it. But Phil Spector also murdered a guy, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be too nice to him. Employed his wall of sound production technique to notable effect. Ben Gerson of Rolling Stone described the sound as a Wagerian, Bucknerian, the music of mountaintops and vast horizons, reflecting the widespread surprise at the assuredness of Harrison's post-Beatles debut. Melody makers Richard Williams likened the album to Greta Garbo's first role in a talking picture and declared, "Garbo talks, Harrison is free." Nice. So again, a big, I'm guessing a big difference from his Beatles days, because him fully having creative control now. According to Colin Larkin, writing in his 2011 edition of his Encyclopedia of Popular Music, All Things Must Pass is generally rated as the best of all the former Beatles solo albums. During the final year of his life, Harrison oversaw a successful reissue campaign to mark the 30th anniversary of the album's release. After this reissue, the Recording Industry Association of America certified the album 6 times platinum. It has since been certified 7 times platinum, with at least 7 million albums sold. Among its appearances on critics' best album list, All Things Must Pass was ranked 79th on the Times 100 best albums of all time. In 1993, while the Rolling Stones placed it 368th on the magazine's the 2023 update, the 500 greatest albums of all time. In 2014, All Things Must Pass was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. So yeah. I'm ready, man. We have a lot of things hyping this up. It's a triple album, so let's get into this, man. So we're gonna be listening to the 50th anniversary remixes of the mixes because they actually have the track list in the original order, and the most popular version on Spotify is the 2014 remaster, but they added like extra songs in it, and it's not the original sequence of the album as it originally was released. So I want to listen to the songs in original order. If these mixes you think are bad, I don't know. I'm sorry, man. I googled to see if people thought they were good. People thought they were alright mixes. So yeah. So this album's 23 tracks long, an hour and 40 minutes long, hour 46 minutes. So let's just get into it, man. So we're going into track number 1, which is "I'd Have You Anytime." So smooth guitar to start off, man, and we're gonna do some great guitar in this. George Harrison, his guitar was rapidly improving by the end of the Beatles stint. Oh my god, this is smooth. I like this. Let me in here. I know I've been here. I gotta pause, dude. Already. I'm sorry if you don't like pausing, dude. You're watching a full-blown reaction video, and we're gonna go in-depth into this. If you want to see me, if you just want to hear the songs, motherfucker, you can go to Spotify. Listen to them your damn self, bro. This is here for my reaction, okay? I am so excited. You know how hyped I am to listen to 23 straight songs of George Harrison, dude? We always get little snippets of them. Every Beatles album, you only have like 1 or 2 songs max. Dude, White Album, I think he was his peak. He had like 4 songs on that. That was his peak. And that was a 30-song album. He had 4. We're going to get 23 straight songs of George Harrison's magnificent voice. I think he arguably has the best voice in the Beatles. And that's really saying something because they have 3 fantastic voices and Ringo. Let me in here. I know I've been here. Ooh. All I have is yours. Oh my god, this production is great. All you see is mine. We hate on Phil Spector, but I'm saying the production so far sounds fucking fantastic. Just the evolution of the production, the Abbey Road production, and since then, like in 69, I feel like the technology improved in like the last few years of the Beatles. Like it's the rapid production improvements in like technology, dude. Like it just sounds so smooth, man. His voice is so smooth. The guitar, oh my god. Oh my god. fantastic, dude.
Let me say it, let me play it to your heart.
This is a chill song. Cause Paul McCartney in his first post Beatles album was really also going for that more chill sound. I think because they were just fucking tired of making so much production and all the shit in the Beatles era. They were like, okay, let me make some chill songs. I like this type of chill song way more than I like the type of chill songs McCartney was doing. He was doing songs that were chill because there wasn't much to them. I think this is a song that has a lot to it, but it's made specifically to be a really chill, just do this to the song, and I really like that. Yeah, I think I really like this song. This is a great start to the beginning. I'm hyped. Listen to this. Listen to this solo, man. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I thought that was a good beginning to the album. Hold up, let me play the last few seconds here. I thought that was a really good beginning to the album, really laid back. I thought it was fantastic. His vocals were great. The guitar was really smooth, really good in the production. I could hear it very clearly. I really like that. Maybe it's just maybe it's also because I'm using the more recent mix. But yeah, that was a fantastic song. I really like that one. Great beginning to the album in general. I also think about this. I want someone to put together a compilation album of the best songs from all the Beatles solo albums that were released each year, Beatles 1970, and it's what a Beatles album would be like if it was released in 1970, and it's the best solo tracks from the Beatles that all released that year. Because that'd be a good album, I'm guessing, because we have multiple other albums that we're going to listen to from the Beatles that I think just one more. I think it's a John Lennon album to listen to that was also released in 1970. Then in 71 we are listening to Ram next. So yeah, but don't worry, we're going to listen to all those solo albums that are Beatles that are that people said were noteworthy. I pretty much put them in the list, and we're going to listen to them back to back to back. So that was a good song, good beginning to the album. So now we're on to track number 2, which is My Sweet Lord. This is a nearly 5-minute song, which is pretty rare for the Beatles. They made pretty short songs most of the time, unless they were making something more experimental, like I Want You, She's So Heavy or Revolution 9. So yeah, a lot of these songs here are much longer. It seems like George kind of wanted to make longer songs, and he was kind of held back by the Beatles by doing that. And when he made his own solo stuff to make original, he kind of, trying to make longer stuff. Isn't That a Pity version 1? 7 minutes long, god dang. Yeah, let's go. My Sweet Lord, track number 2.
I really want to see you.
This is a more religious song. George, I think, is definitely the most religious guy in the band. More spiritual, religious, and everything. We kind of see that stuff like that with the White Album song, Long, Long, Long. He was kind of talking about, it was kind of more of a religious song. But see here, I'm looking forward to his He was talking about Hallelujah and stuff. And him talking about My Sweet Lord and stuff. So this is more of a spiritual, religious kind of song, which you don't see really from the other 3 Beatles. So it's interesting now.
Really wanna be with you.
I like that, dude. I'm gonna be gushing about this guy's vocals the entire album, dude.
My sweet Lord, my Lord.
Ooh, love the background. Love the background harmony on the hallelujahs.
My sweet Lord. I really wanna see you, Lord.
Ooh, now we're hooking up. Here we go. He's building up the more he gets into it. Yeah, why does my church not play this shit, bro, when they're playing the songs at the beginning of church, dude? They should be playing this shit, bro. I'd be grooving if they started playing this, bro. They had the background, hallelujah, with the people in the background, and then George Harrison on the front, dude. Come on now. They should be playing this shit at church, man. This would get everyone grooving, bro. Everyone would want to go to church if they were playing this. Come on now. I'm already adding it to the songs. Oh my god, we're just gonna get, we're getting 23 straight tracks of fantastic guitar and fantastic vocals, fantastic lyrics probably too. oh my god, we're gonna have like a great guitar part on every single part of this album. This is dude, come on now. Something I really appreciate about art so much, because I try to consume a lot of media and stuff, and I get really interested in it. I try to do it for the channels, as well, because I've been, I was kind of a YouTube guy my whole life, and I kind of missed out on a bunch of shit, a bunch of the old shit, that I'm trying to do for my reaction videos, because I really love media and art and stuff. I really love when you see an artist do whatever the fuck he wants. That is the best art you're gonna get, is when it's someone fully going into their vision, unrestrained and stuff. And like this just feels like someone finally going through with their artistic vision after not really being able to express it for a long time, and going through with it. And I'm just loving it, man. It really feels like a real true like one person autistic, goddamn it, artistic expression, which I really like. And listen to this guitar, man, goddamn. Hare Krishna is that a Hinduism thing? I'm cutting out the video if it's not. We gotta Google it. We gotta make sure. Yes, it is a Hinduism thing. I was right. Is George Harrison like a full-on Hindu? Was he like a full-on Hindu? I'm pretty sure he was, which is pretty crazy. You know how you're a random white guy in Britain, and you get so invested in Indian culture. Not only do you use it in so much of your songs, you completely dominate your artistic expression. You go to India for a great time, learn from, the Maharishi, even if he ended up being a bit of a creep. But then you full on convert to being a straight up Hindu. Like, dude, this guy got invested in India, dude. I gotta appreciate it though. I mean, it worked out great for him. Hope he got reincarnated. Yeah, they're saying a lot of, I'm pretty sure, I'm assuming these are all just like phrases of Hinduism to say. Yeah, that's a fantastic song. Yeah, just a really fantastic song. It was a really spiritual expression, fantastic vocals. I loved the background people; those are fantastic. The guitar was great. It just really felt really different and really good. Yeah, that was just a fantastic song. Yeah, I'm assuming that's gonna be a big highlight from this album. Looking back in it, man, I can jam to that all day. Man, you don't have to be a Hindu to listen to that shit, man. Come on now. They should be playing that shit at church every day, every Sunday. Okay, so now we're on to track number 3, which is Wah Wah. Okay, let's go. Wah Wah. Dude, I'm gonna mention the fucking guitar every track, dude. Once again, yeah, we're talking about the long song. There's another long song, 5.5 minutes long, so let's get into it. Ooh. You've given me a wow wow. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. I never really considered this, by the way. I'm probably gonna talk about this more when we get to the title track. I'm just looking at the title of the album, thinking about, yeah, it makes sense. It's really more deep when you think about like all things must pass. For your first album, once you get past this gigantic portion in your life with the Beatles, really going to this new step, you're like, okay, well, all things must pass. We're in a new era, and it's like getting a bittersweet with the thing of like, yeah, it's past, but all things must pass. And we're going forward, so I like the album title. I never even really considered it. Wasn't really thinking about it, but yeah, that's a good album title, by the way. I don't know what he's saying when he says, "Give me your wow wow." I don't know what this means. Dude, George Harrison got me making the stank face, dude. So that line talking about, I know how sweet I can be if I keep myself free, kind of seems like talking about, you know, breaking from the Beatles that are keeping themselves free, you know, going independent. You know, there's some symbolism on the wow wow that I'm not getting what he's talking about when he says that. But it sounds great though. Once again, I was talking about the guitars, but they're just so much more expressive on this album than any of the Beatles albums. I keep comparing it to a Beatles album. I really shouldn't, but it's obviously that's what you're gonna compare it to, right? But it's just to see how different it is when it's just George. Yeah, the guitars are much more expressive. It feels like a lot of the emotion of the song is being carried by the guitar as opposed to any other instrument or even the vocals or the lyrics or anything. Or just his style. Go real high pitch with the chorus now. I'm assuming, okay, so wow wow kind of seems like it's about maybe crying, like he's like making fun of, oh, you want me to go wham 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 because I left the Beatles, oh, you don't see me crying, you don't see me sighing. I'm fully independent, I'm doing great, I don't need no tears needed for me, you know, I don't need to cry, you don't need to cry for me, I'm doing great. I'm going independent. I'm having great for my own. It's like kind of what he's saying right here. It's like don't leave your sympathies. I'm not sad that I'm leaving the Beatles. All things must pass, and I'm doing great. I get to get a great artistic expression of myself. And that's kind of my interpretation of this song, on first listen. Okay, so that was track number 3, Wow Wow. Yeah, so these songs are long, but they don't feel as long when you're actually listening to them, because there's always something happening in the song, no matter where in the song, there's always something happening. It's not long because it's going real slow. No, that was actually a really fast-paced song, but it was also 5.5 minutes, because everything was always going on, and more stuff was going on onto the track, you know, guitar changing up, you know, so it was like it wasn't 5.5 minutes because it was like building up slowly. It was like, no, it was a fast-paced song. It just, you know, 5.5 minutes, really fleshed it out, which I really liked there. I think it really worked on that. Okay, so now we're on to track number 4, which is the ending of side 1 of this album, of the 6 sides. The ending of side 4 is Isn't It a Pity, version 1. Yeah, version 1. Is there 2 versions on this one album? There is. So we kind of get a little reprise or something. So this is version 1. It's a 7-minute long song. We heard a little snippet of it in part 1 of Get Back. So, and I thought it sounded really good there. So let's see. I'm really ready to hear the full version here. A lot of really dark tones starting off here.
Isn't it a pity?
Yeah, so that's like the first part of the album that was like, it was really focused on the vocals, and it really needs to be focused on the vocals to start that off. Really dark tones, you know, kind of encapsulating, you know, making it feel what you say is important, because it is important. This is a fantastic verse, and because we saw it in the Get Back documentary part 1, I really associate it with that of the Beatles breaking up, of like, oh, why are we fighting and all that, and it obviously it pertains to the larger world, you know, wars and stuff, and, you know, message of peace and, you know, the hippie kind of stuff that the Beatles were going for, which obviously still it's always going to be relevant. That's a timeless message. You know, isn't it a shame we break each other's hearts, cause each other pain? How we take each other's love without thinking anymore, forgetting to give back. Yeah, it's kind of that. You know, all you need is love. You know, give peace a chance, kind of message there, and it's said really beautifully under these dark tones of like, guys, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? Is like, you know, in that kind of tone. And yeah, George Harrison's vocals on that are really good, and the verse is just really good. The way he says it so slowly, it really puts deep every line he says. into that verse to make you really understand what he's saying, which I really liked.
Some things take so long. Can see we're all the same.
Come on, let's go. Love the leftist message.
And because of all the tears, isn't it a pity?
Dude, the writing on these two verses is so good, dude. Come on, this second verse is hard as balls, dude. This is a hard ass verse, dude. When not, how do I explain? When not too many people can see we're all the same, and because of their tears, their eyes can't hope to see the beauty that surrounds them. What? Yeah, dude, like, talking about people, obviously people not, mistreating other people, discrimination against other people, prejudice, not seeing that we're all the same, it's all of our first times living, and because all your hatred of going against people, and because people are hating on you, causing you to get tears and stuff, you can't appreciate how beautiful the world is and how beautiful everyone is and how beautiful it all is, kind of bringing back that, optimistic message of like, the world is so beautiful and everything, but we just need to visualize it. We just need to stop fighting with each other. Isn't it a pity that we can't just do that? Yeah, fantastic message, fantastic lyrics, fantastic delivery. This is a perfect album so far. Oh my god, what is this? What is this? I feel like this could be really good as a protest song. The guitar on this album kind of works as like a secondary vocal, damn near. It expresses damn near as much emotion as he does with his voice. Like, he's so good at displaying emotion through the guitar, I feel like. Like that, he did that on Something, did that on While My Guitar Gently Weeps. He's doing that throughout all this album. It's only getting more emotional as the song goes on. The more the song goes on, so he starts the song off. It's kind of like with the last track too. He starts the song off as like it really focuses on his vocals, right? And it's really focusing on what he's saying, so you can hear very clearly what he's saying. Because what he's saying is very important. And then the more the song goes on, his voice kind of becomes just one of the instruments, right? In this kind of orchestra that keeps going on. Eventually, he just kind of blends into the instrumental to create this, sound, which is kind of what he's going for there. To overall display the message more in sound form than in lyrics form that he was at the beginning of the song. As it goes on, it gets more and more instrumentally. The guitar picks up and it starts to display more emotion. And overall, his voice kind of becomes part of the instrumental. It feels like we still got 2.5 more minutes of the song. So I'm assuming that's just going to keep on going on and on. Like, you see, like, this part, it sounds like his vocals are kind of like a background instrument, isn't it? Kind of has a "I Want You, She's So Heavy" kind of feeling of it. Just keeps building up in the instrumental more and more as it goes on in the last few minutes of the track. What a pity, pity, pity. Y'all love my amazing vocals? Am I like George Harrison? Okay, so that was Isn't It a Pity? Yeah, fantastic song. We're 4 for 4 so far. That and My Sweet Lord have been my favorites so far. Especially the beginning of that song was really good, and I love the lyricism and everything on that track. Thought it was really good. We're 4 for 4 to start off. So yeah, side 1, completely perfect side. Okay, so now we're going on to side 2 with What Is Life? The What Is Life? Yeah, let's get inside 2. Very philosophical title. Ooh, and really switch up on the instrumental to start off here. Okay. A lot more upbeat, hangbanger right here to start off here.
What I do love, and tell me who
This is a more traditional love song, and it's done really well. Really good headbanger right here.
am I without you?
We know George can make some love songs, man. We heard something, man.
What I know I can do if I give my love out to everyone.
I just love George's voice, man. I could probably hear him fucking sing fucking anything, and I'd fucking love it.
It's all love that you need.
Like the stop to get back into the solo, and then bring the other instruments in, really build it up like that. Yeah, here we go.
Tell me who am I?
We're 5 for 5 so far, man. Honestly, we have all different types of songs so far, but they're all essentially like George songs. We're 5 but very different at the same time, which is great.
Tell me who am I without you?
Imagine in this song and then Something What About You within like a 1-year span. You're gonna feel like the most loved person of all time, dude. Goddamn. Okay, so yeah, that was track number 5. What Is Life? The style of the song that made me think of maybe some like philosophical, spiritual shit. But now it's What Was My Life Without You? Fantastic love song, really good headbanger there. Really switch up from Isn't It a Pity? And the other songs, yeah, that was the first real song made to be like a headbanger thing. It's like a song you'd hear on the radio kind of thing. And it's a really good version of that, combined with the 4, other types of songs at the beginning. Really good beginning of side 2. So now we're on to track number 6, which is If Not For You. Well, I'm assuming another love song from the title. And then maybe side 2 is just all love songs. Maybe get a different theme. Side 1 more, thought-provoking. Side 2, just some good love songs. Those are nice lyrics.
I'd be sad and blue if not for you. If not for you.
Really love the instrumental here.
Late in the night, but see me wide awake. If not for you, my sky would fall.
Shower checking little.
Rain would gather dew.
The instrumental in this track just sounds like a love song. Like, it just sounds like, I don't know how to describe it. It sounds love-like. You know what I'm saying? Like there couldn't be any other type of song that could fit this instrumental other than a really good, romantic song. I don't know, just something about it. It's really soothing. Got the harmonica going, okay. I remember harmonica since the very first Beatles albums. Listen to this. This is just a lovely, chilling instrumental. Like, this is just one happy ass song. We had the more darker kind of tones on Isn't It a Pity and kind of Wah Wah as well. But we've got just back to back optimistic ass love songs. Love this. Alright, so that was track number 6, If Not For You. Fantastic, I really liked it. Yeah, we got back-to-back, really optimistic, really good love songs. Love the instrumental in that one, really. That feels like it could be like a really big radio hit, you know? Like, that'd be like someone's one-hit wonder song, but it's just one song on fucking George Harrison's album that's not even in his band that's way more popular. It's insane. Yeah, really crazy. So, yeah. Yeah, we're 6 for 6, definitely so far. Definitely 6 for 6 so far. And, yeah, fantastic. If we go 23 for 23, bro, that'd be unprecedented. Okay, so now we're on to track number 7, which is Behind That Locked Door. Okay. Let's go.
Pain is now through.
Now we're going back to the more sad songs,
Please forget those tears.
but also optimistic. So we have 2 songs here that have been, more sad or undertones, but the theme is more optimistic and stuff, which is, I think, really good.
Let me take them from you.
Because it's sad, it's talking about someone crying, and the instrumental's more sad, but it's talking about, whoa, why are you still crying, your pain's through. Forget those teardrops. And yeah.
Love you are blessed with that locked door.
Yeah, a big theme of this album seems to be, going away with all the troubles of the world, forgetting them and recognizing the beautifulness and, of the world and stuff, which good message, man. It's a good theme for the album so far. The album seems to be really optimistic and stuff about the world and stuff, which is, you need that.
It's time we start smiling.
George produced some optimistic ass Beatles songs. Should come something to mind,
With only this.
I feel like we really chilled out in this side 2 here. From side 1, I felt like the instrumentals were really fast-paced and going. Like I said, with Wow Wow and stuff, and even like My Sweet Lord and stuff. They maybe start off slow, but then they get more fast-paced. I think we've chilled out a lot more on side 2 here, which I think has worked out for us here. Okay, so that was track number 7, Behind That Locked Door. Yeah, really beautiful song. I think that was the worst song so far because, wasn't as much of a... The other ones I think were either like really good instrumentally or, really, headbangers or optimistic or beautiful and stuff. And this song was pretty beautiful, but it just doesn't seem like something I would visit back a lot more. It doesn't seem like, as catchy as the other songs, but, really beautifully written and a good message and, still, good instrumentals and everything. So now we're going on to track number 8, which is Let It Down. This song's 5 minutes long. Oh. I just said we were getting slower paced, then we get hit with this shit. Okay. Yeah, you gotta switch that shit up there, because I felt like I was getting kind of sluggish behind that, slower songs. And now we need this shit to wake. We need to get this shit back, big, faster pace and stuff. We went on a bit too slow pace for a little bit too long there. Ooh. Ooh, okay, so we start off with this big bombastic opening with the horns and everything, then we slow down and go to the... Just kind of chill you out a bit and get you into, I'm assuming, what he's about to start singing here. Kind of your emotions here, talking about? I'm assuming. Because that's interesting, because it sounds like, so on Wah Wah, he was kind of talking about, I don't feel bad for me, man. Don't cry for me. I'm doing great. Don't worry about me. This song, he's kind of like, I'm feeling these emotions, and it seems like he's saying he's kind of hiding his emotions just in case someone's looking at him while he's doing it, which kind of seems contradictory, but we'll see what specifically he's going to be talking about here later in the song. Ooh, now we're getting the more layered vocals here. The chorus getting really hyped up. And then we're back with the fucking horns from the beginning. We didn't get for a while now. Kind of resolves back to being a love song like the other two tracks here at the end. I kind of like those songs that resolve to being a love song in the messaging. They weren't originally at the beginning of the song. Okay, so that was Let It Down. I feel like the last two songs kind of went a little bit down in quality compared to the first six, which were really good. The chorus on that one, I didn't like as much. I feel like his vocals were really drowned out by the instrumental, which worked for songs like Isn't It, the ending of Isn't It a Pity, but I feel like it didn't really build up to that, and I just don't think it worked as well as in a Pity. So the last two songs I don't think have been as good as the first six. So we're gonna end off disc one here. Let's see if we end up disc one really strong here. With Run of the Mill. This is the ending of disc 1. Dude, these horns in the last two tracks though, I was complaining about the last track, but the horns were fantastic in it. I've been really hitting recently, man.
Choice when to or not to raise their voices. You choose to decide.
Dude, the writing on the songs on these albums is so good.
Which way you will turn while feeling that our love is not your concern. You choose to decide.
So this is kind of the same message, Isn't It a Pity, but it's once again a beautifully written verse to display this kind of idea of, it's your choice to, enjoy the beauty of the world or, be hateful and, not understand that everyone's equal and everything, Everyone has a choice when to or not to raise their voices. It's you that decides which way you will turn while feeling that our love is not your concern. Yeah, it's basically saying to love everyone, make sure everyone feels loved. And just choose peace and everything. Is that hippie message again? That's just fantastic. The optimistic message. The whole messaging of this album has been really fantastic. Really great writing on the message so far of this album.
We'll carry the blame for you. You choose to decide.
Yeah, this whole messaging of the song is kind of, you make the decision to go across your life, You can, embrace it or accept the people that you love and everything, or, be against that and do it to your own detriment. Okay, so that was track number 9, Run of the Mill. Yeah, really good messaging in that. It didn't have a chorus or anything. So I don't know about the last 3 tracks. I think were not as good as the first 6. The first 6 were fantastic. The last 3, good messaging, good writing and stuff. I just didn't feel musically to listen to they were as good as the first 6. But overall for disc 1, fantastic disc, fantastic side 1 here. Disc 1 here. The first third of the album. I'd Have You Anytime, My Sweet Lord, Why Isn't It a Pity, What Is Life, and If Not For You was a fantastic 6-track opening, and we continue more with the thematic theme of, optimism and viewing the world beautifully and stuff, and, talking about stuff like that. And I hope we continue the theme throughout the album to get like a correlation with this. And hopefully talk more about emotions after leaving the Beatles, go along with the All Things Must Pass theme to go, with the moving on stuff. Because we have some moving on stuff now with like Behind That Locked Door and stuff, and Let It Down of emotional songs. So yeah, the disc 1, very good. I think this whole, not gonna lie, disc 1 was better than the entire McCartney album. Not gonna lie to you. No disrespect to McCartney, but disc 1 was better than that entire album. And we still got 2 discs remaining. So yeah, let's go on to disc 2. So we are going to begin off disc 2, or inside 3, with Beware of Darkness. Let's go. God, these instrumentals on this album is so fucking good. So good. So this song kind of seems like, the first time we had this theme of like, you can choose whether to appreciate the beauty of the world or not, or just, what you're talking about isn't a pity, or you can just choose to be hateful and it'll be detrimental to yourself as well. Now he's talking about, to watch out for the pain and the stuff that, that they could go around you. Watch out for all that sadness that's gonna come, and beware of the darkness, beware of darkness, and to just get rid of these. Try to beware of these bad thoughts that you have, kind of thing. Yeah, I like the message. So they kind of changed it up here to beware of darkness to beware of sadness. We're talking about more of a specific thing there. I like that line. That's not what you're here for, man.
Watch out, beware of Maya.
I don't know what that line means, not gonna lie to you.
They take you where you should not go.
Like going out to the establishment now, greedy leaders.
While weeping at the cedar.
Alright, so that was track number 10, Beware of Darkness. I like the message of this song of talking about, of being aware of certain bad aspects of life. You can't throw going different bad aspects of life, sort of with bad thoughts, then of more of sadness, then of like just unconsciously going through life, and then of other people, being greedy and the leadership and stuff, and, capitalism and all that. I thought that was a good message to that song. I feel like I haven't had a really catchy song in a while, or like a song that's like really good to like straight up listen to, just without thinking. But the messages have been great the entire song. The songwriting, I think, has been great the entire time. I think that's what he's been really focusing on there for the last few songs. And I think it's been fantastic messaging, great optimistic messages throughout the entire album of like getting away from the darkness of life and all that. It's kind of been the whole message around the whole album so far. Okay, so now we're on to track number 11, which is Apple Scruffs. Let's go. Now got the harmonica, okay. Multiple harmonica tones this song. This song's starting off like a damn early Beatles song.
You've been on my mind, my apple scruffs.
I don't know what he's talking about, the symbolism for what Apple Scruffs means here.
Apple scruffs.
He sounds really happy. He's like singing it while smiling, you can tell.
How I love you. How I love you.
Really heavy use of the harmonica this track. This is the damn harmonica solo in the middle of the song. It's unusual.
In the fog and in the rain, through the pleasures and outside you stand with your flowers in your hand, my apple scruffs.
I like the upbeatness of his singing here. It's like really upbeat compared to all the other
The
singing.
years come and go. Now your love must surely show me that without all time and space, we're together face to face, my apple scruffs.
I like that line. That beyond all time and space, we're together face to face. I like that. That's a good line. Okay, so that was track number 11, Apple Scruffs. Yeah, I thought that was a good switch up to be a more upbeat singing. I really like to sing in there. And heavy use of the harmonica really seemed like it was inspired by earlier era Beatles songs right there. Because they didn't really use the harmonica at all the last few years. So, you know, he's had several songs now that George is, you know, getting in on the harmonica. You know, I don't know if it's George on the harmonica. I assume it is. But yeah, it was really good. Nice little, yeah, nice upbeat song there. So yeah, now we're on to track number 12, which is Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp, Let It Roll. This is an amazing title for a song. When you heard a title for a song that's like something ridiculous, like Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp, Let It Roll, you know shit's about to be good, you know? It's like that meme of like Beatles 1963 be like, oh yes girl I love you, and then 4 years later Beatles 1967 be like, oh yes, the battle of Sir the Ballad of Sir Cookie Crisp the Turtle, in part 1 of 2, like the big switch up. I like the names like this where it's just like completely out there. You just know you're about to get some weird shit in the lyrics and stuff. Let's go. So yeah, let's go. Track number 11, Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp, Let It Roll. Back to the more religious symbolism thing back in here. I don't know what this Sir Frankie Crisp is about. It just came out of nowhere. I don't know what it's about. Now I'm gonna try to guess. Walks of cool and shade. He's talking like yeah, it's like old timey, like it's like kind of it's kind of like quoting religious texts and stuff where he keeps saying like he's saying like the old timey language and stuff. I just shouldn't pull Inner Light. Inner Light is also a Beatles song, B-side by George, which is also a more spiritual song in and of itself. Yeah, I don't know what the whole Frankie. That was track number 12. Ballad of Frankie Crisp, Let It Roll. I don't really know how to feel with that one because I don't know what the hell he's talking about with the Frankie Crisp bit. I don't think I'm gonna even come close to getting. Seems like it's the kind of the second song of this album. Yeah, Let It Roll and also Let It Down. Kind of similar vibes there. Talking about kind of like, you know, letting go in general. I don't know, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about that one. That one wasn't really. I don't know. It's a very confusing track. I'm very confused by that one. I might have to come back to that one to see if I like it or not. I don't know. Very confused by that one. Disc 2 so far, I don't know. Definitely not as good as Disc 1 so far, the beginning of Disc 1. I've just been kind of confused on where are we going with this? Like what are we what are we talking about here? I like the Apple Scruffs. I like the messaging in Beware of Darkness. This one I'm just very confused. So yeah, hopefully we get some more cohesion. Hopefully I can understand a little bit better. Hopefully we go back to that kind of sound that we were getting at the very beginning. But we'll see. So now we're on to track number 13, which is Awaiting on You All. Let's go.
You don't need a loving.
Ooh, he coming strong. You don't need a loving.
You don't need a horoscope for the microscope to see the message you're in.
Ooh, I like this. Okay.
Open up your heart.
These lyrics good. You don't need a horoscope.
Know what I mean?
I like that line. You don't need a horoscope or a microscope to see the mess that you're in. That's funny. You don't need to get spiritual. You need to get scientific, man, to see what the fuck you're going on with right now. Because what you're going on with is emotional, I'm assuming. Yeah. I like that. That's good. He's like rapping damn near here. His vocals are really quiet, but it's working out. And more religious symbolism here. We're talking about the Lord. Once again, they need to play this shit in church. So this guy Hindu or not? He was saying like Hare Krishna and also Indian said now he's actually talking about Jesus. He also keeps saying the Lord. I don't think Hindus believe in just one God. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know anything about religions. I'm just gonna go that I know that it's religious. I don't know what religion he's going for here. But I know he's talking about Jesus specifically. But yeah, I like these religious songs though. They seem like they can be really good for that context of music.
You don't need no visa. You don't need to designate or to emigrate before you can see deep into the books. The riches either you will fall in. If you open up your heart.
I like this message right here of like, you don't need to like read all these books and shit, go to a church, go to a temple. Yeah, you don't need to do any of this shit to get accepted into heaven, dude. Just open up your heart, you're good. Great optimistic message once again throughout this entire album. A nice religious message to go along with the optimism, optimism may have been spurred by the religious message here.
You know what I mean? We've been kept down so long. And the stock exchange is the only thing that's qualified to quote us.
Whoa, we're taking shots at the Pope, okay.
But the Lord is awaiting on your heart, you're awakening to see. Like Jack in the
So yeah, that was track number 13, Awaiting on Your Wall. I liked the religious messaging there, and I liked the at the end there, him taking shots at the Pope. He was kind of, okay, so he ended up saying you don't need to go to church or like read any books, go to a temple to like be accepted by God, right? You can just, just fucking do what you do, man. Just like, just do what you do. Open your heart up and stuff. And then you go and talk to the Pope that's like, going, the Pope, all he knows about is, the Vatican, fucking making money and shit, right? Just 'cause this random guy doesn't, you don't need to listen to everything this one guy says to be part of a religion to open up to God, He's gonna take shit to the whole Catholicism religion there in a bit. But yeah, I thought that was a good song. I thought that was, a really interesting song in terms of messaging and stuff. Yeah, we've had a lot of interesting messaging around this whole album, man. I think it's been, for how many songs to even have this much complex written songs, have been really fantastic when you think about it. Because this is arguably more complex written than most of the Beatles albums, and that was 4 people coming together to write it. This is just George Harrison writing. I think he's done a fantastic job on the writing here. Thought it's been fantastic. Love he's putting his own themes in there and everything. Okay, so now we're on to track number 14, which is the title track, All Things Must Pass, and this is also the ending of side 3 of the album. Okay, so bing bong bing boom, let's get into it. Track number 14, All Things Must Pass. We saw this little snippet of the song being developed in the Get Back documentary. Starting with the horns again. Here we go.
Sunrise doesn't last all morning.
Good metaphor to start off the song. I love this. This is gonna be definitely talking about the Beatles breakup, or referencing the emotions around it.
Seems my love is up and has left you with no always gonna be this great.
This kind of like Isn't It a Pity, where it's really starting off very much focusing on the vocals, because he's saying something really important. When he says a verse that's like really important and well written, he really focuses on the vocals, which this is a very important verse. Sunrise doesn't last all morning, talking about the whole, nothing lasts forever thing. Don't be sad because it's over, be happy because it happened thing. See, my love is up and it's up to you, no warning. It's not always going to be this gray. Yeah, nothing lasts forever. Sadness doesn't last forever, but also happiness doesn't last forever. It's kind of a double-edged sword there. And yeah, so he did the same thing where he really focuses. He's doing the same thing he did on "Isn't It a Pity," where he really focuses on the vocals throughout the track. And I'm assuming more and more as the song goes on, he's gonna more and more fuse his voice into the instrumental to make up more the sound of the song.
All things must pass. All things must pass away.
This is great. This is the best song on disc 2 so far. Already. Oh my god.
Sunset doesn't last all evening. All those clouds away.
He sounds really emotional vocals on this song. He's done really good.
My love is a plan, must be leaving. Face another day, now the darkness only stays.
Talking about, you're sad about things going away. It was like, none of life's strings can last. Nothing that's holding nothing that you feel is holding your life together really is going to be something that is permanently going to be there. And so it's just like, another day is coming. I got to wake up and do it. I like that theme right there.
The nighttime. In the morning.
Yeah, now it's talking about, so obviously it's talking about good things going away and having to do with that, but now it's talking about, the bad things also don't last forever. So is it really worth it to get too caught up in them? The darkness only stays at nighttime, in the morning it'll fade away. Really good analogy there, really good lyrics in this whole song, and really good message, everything about this song. This is fantastic. Best song on disc 2 so far by far.
It will fade away.
Love the horns on this track, and throughout the multiple songs on this album, the horns have been great. These little jazz elements. Alright, so that was the title track, All Things Must Pass, track number 14. Fantastic. Best song on disc 2. Love the message of the whole All Things Must Pass kind of idea that the whole album's kind of based around after the breakup with the Beatles and everything. And I like that it showed the two ways of, we have to deal with, things that you love, that you enjoy, they have to pass, so you have to deal with that, but also don't need to worry about, this darkness in your life and stuff. That also will pass. It's not always going to be this gray. Really good. I really liked, basically, so I thought he was going to go into, kind of the thing of how it isn't in a pity, where it started off really paying attention to his vocals, then his voice kind of faded away into the instrumental of the track to get more of the sound. But no, because pretty much all of his lyrics here were really good, really important. They kind of focused on his voice the entire time, which I really liked. His voice was really good, and I really liked how they focused on it basically the entire track. I did enjoy that. So now we're going on to side 4 with track number 15, which is I Dig Love. Let's go. Another 5-minute track here. I have it on shuffle on accident. Ruh-roh. My bad. I Dig Love. Ooh, drums, okay. We're starting off, strange here.
I dig love.
Really high-pitched vocals.
I dig love.
This is a weird instrumental with the piano and drums. I like it though.
I dig love. I dig. I love dig.
This is like the first non-guitar instrumental on this album so far.
I love dig. I love dig. Oh, I dig love.
I like the switch up with the piano instrumental on this one.
Small love, big love. I don't care, love's all good. In the morning, I dig love.
Now the guitar's gonna strum him. We're gonna play a guitar solo. I have no guitar this entire track now.
I dig love.
The first song on the track we didn't have a guitar for a long portion of it. Now we're gonna get a guitar solo in. Okay. It's like a little build up here. We're getting like real down low. I think we're about to hit a really big high here. Here we go. Now we get into the guitar. It wasn't an explosive guitar solo I was expecting. I guess we're just gonna do this like little chill vibe the whole song, which I'm alright with. We haven't. That's kind of the vibe of this whole album. We haven't really had an explosive vibe the whole album, and it works. I feel like this song did not need to be this long. I'm not gonna lie to you. Alright, so that was track number 15, I Dig Love. Yeah. I feel like that song did not have to be that long. I like the chill vibe I was going for. Like, it's really easy to listen to in the background or something. But, like, I didn't feel like we need a 5-minute track where the instrumental really doesn't change that much and the lyrics don't really change that much at all. I feel like when you have a 5-minute track, you have to do some switch-ups there. So I felt like it got a bit repetitive by the end. Yeah, I just feel like it could for a song like that, it should be definitely a shorter song, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that one. So next we're on to track number 16, which is Art of Dying. Another pretty philosophical damn title here. Let's go. Art of Dying. Dude, last time we started off no guitar, and now we have heavy guitar to start off this one. So that first line is very interesting because it brings back the all things must pass kind of theme of like, you know, there comes a time we're all gonna die. You know, even life in general has that theme. You know, of you being alive. You know, all things must pass. You know, but he's saying it, and that's kind of seem as like, you know, as kind of a sad thing. He's saying it so upbeat though, like the beat is super bombastic and shit, and he's saying it so upbeat. So it's kind of bringing once again the optimistic viewpoint to something that's saying he's saying that's, you know, kind of sad. Like, this is the most upbeat instrumental of the entire album. I swear. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of bringing this optimistic view on like just the concept of death in general. Of saying like, that nothing I can do in my life will surpass, you know, dying. Is viewing dying as basically this positive thing, basically, which kind of brings in the, you know, the religious element, spiritual element too, saying you kind of at the beginning of the, you know, I can't wait to see you, Lord, and everything, which is like, well, we've seen the Lord means you're gonna die, you know, but he's optimistic about it. He's like, I can't wait to see the Lord, you know, and now he's like, nothing I can do in this life can surpass the art of dying. So it's kind of bringing this optimistic view onto the concept of death in multiple songs throughout this album, which kind of brings in together with the whole theme of life having to pass and stuff, you know, and just coming to peace with the concept of time. This thing is really interesting. So yeah, it's talking about like it's talking about the concept of death and time passing, but it's so the beat is so, the guitar, you know, is so, you know, upbeat throughout this entire song compared to any other song on this album, and so it's really viewing this really positive view of death throughout the entire song. Oh, like, yeah, man, I'm gonna die, let's go. Not like in a suicidal way, but like, you know what I mean. Ooh, guitar really slowing down here. Woo! Oh, this is the best guitar on the album so far. Listen to this, oh my god. That seems like a reincarnation line of like the Hinduism idea. So that last verse is really interesting. Really interesting verse here. There'll come a time when most of us return here. I interpret this as a kind of like being like, the Hinduism idea of, reincarnation and stuff. Brought back by a desire to be a perfect entity, living through a million years of crying until you realize the art of dying. Kind of seems like if you don't accept death, you kind of go through this long thing of suffering and everything. Even talking about in a spiritual, religious way of like reincarnation and stuff, until you come to peace with your own self and come to peace with your, the art of just letting go and the art of letting yourself die. And it kind of goes with a lot of things there. So I think that's a really good verse. I think the writing on this album has been absolutely superb. I think it's been by far the best part of this album. And I've really enjoyed the writing on this album so far, man. It's just really good themes, really deep lyrics throughout the entire album, and a good overall theme the entire album. It's really, has a really pretty consistent theme throughout the entire album, despite not really being like a concept album. It's like has a pretty consistent theme that it's going around, which I really appreciate. Guitar's going fucking insane on this track too. Goddamn. We didn't really hear that kind of guitar playing on a Beatles song. They didn't let my boy go that insane, even in the guitar solos and shit. Okay, so that was a track number 16, Art of Dying. That was really good. That and All Things Must Pass are the best songs on disc too. That was a fantastic song. I really liked that one. I thought that was a really good one. I think that one probably had the deepest lyrics of any song on this album, up there with Isn't It a Pity and All Things Must Pass. And I like the kind of contrast that was happening with the, talking about death with the happy instrumental and everything, and I thought the last verse was really good on there. So now we're on to track number 17, which is Isn't It a Pity version 2. So we have a lot of Isn't It a Pity here, because we had the first Isn't It a Pity version is 7 minutes long, and this version is 5 minutes long, so 12 minutes of this album are just Isn't It a Pity. So let's see what's gonna be different here, and why we put two versions on here. See, this is gonna maybe the artistic reason why you would put two versions at different parts of the album to bring it back maybe to the central theme. Let's see, Isn't It a Pity version 2. It seems a lot slower than the original Isn't It a Pity, if I'm remembering correctly.
Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame?
This could be the exact same song and I'd be cool with it, because Isn't It a Pity was so good.
How we take each other's love.
Lyrics on the song are so good, man. Goddamn.
Without thinking anymore.
This followed coming up Art of Dying, I think it does make sense thematically.
Forgetting to give back.
Man, this, oh my god. This is one of the best songs I've ever fucking heard, not gonna lie. Isn't It a Pity? It's so fucking good.
Can't hope to see.
Like, it's just such good messaging, and it just sounds so important the way when you're listening to it.
Isn't it a pity?
Oh, that was different from the original. Nice build up there. Is this like considered one of the best solo Beatles songs? Because it should be if it isn't. I mean, I haven't heard that many, but like this is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard. Like, come on now, it should be. Okay. Yeah, so that was track number 17, Isn't It a Pity version 2. The song's so nice you had to put it on there twice, man. I don't really know. I feel like I don't know why you would put the same song here twice because there wasn't really much of a difference between the two. But I think thematically it does make sense to put "Isn't It a Pity" after "Art of Dying." Talking about the concept of moving on and accepting yourself, and then going against, and then a song talking about the hatred in the world, and isn't it a pity and all that, and putting down the hatred in the world after make a song about self-acceptance. I think that does make sense thematically. But I also think it works really good at the beginning of the album because it really gets you into the fucking album. Hearing "My Sweet Lord" and "Isn't It a Pity" pretty close to each other. That was a really good way to start off the album. But I don't know. I don't know if you needed to put the same song in there twice, but I could see the vision. I mean, the song is so good. I really don't have a problem listening to it twice when listening to the album. So I have no problem with that personally. But yeah, both versions are good. This version just a bit shorter. I don't know if this version, because this version kind of the only main difference is it doesn't have that part at the end where he's like singing the really upbeat with the beat, pity, pity, and the instrumental is building up. It kind of misses that part. So there were doubts because that part's kind of good, but also this version's just shorter. So if you don't want to, if you think the original version drags on so long, you listen to this version. But yeah, so yeah, I have no problem with "Isn't It a Pity" version 2 because "Isn't It a Pity" is fantastic, dude. Okay, so now we're on to the last track of side 4, the last track of disc 2. And I'm pretty sure the Apple Jam right here, which is disc 3, he was saying is purely instrumental. So the entire disc 3 is going to be purely instrumental. So we're going to have to really focus on the instrumental and stuff there. This is the last track with lyrics. So we gotta lock in for this one. This is the last track that's going to have lyrics in it. This is track number 18, which is "Hear Me Lord," ending of disc 2. Let's go. Disc 2, I think, was really picked up towards the latter half in terms of the writing and everything. Has really made disc 2 feel really important. So let's go. "Hear Me Lord." And of course, this is going to be another religious song, which has been a big theme throughout this entire album. I think it's been great. This feels like a finale type thing before you get into the disc 3, It just feels final.
Forgive me, Lord, please, those years when I ignored you.
Once again, churches, start playing this shit at the beginning of church. People will want to come. So the same 5 songs over and over again. Start hitting hallelujah, okay?
Those that feel they can't afford you.
Because once again, the voice is kind of becoming part of the instrumental at this point. I didn't expect this album to be so fully a religious album, but I like it. It's been working out for him.
To the left and the right, above and below. Help me, Lord, please, to
Like that little putting it down for a second there. Put it back in. Pause. Whoa, that was crazy. Okay, never mind. Cut that out.
help me, Lord, please, to burn out this desire. Please, hear me, Lord.
Love these emotional vocals, man. Won't you?
Hear me, Lord. Hear me, Lord. Won't you please?
Okay, so that was track number 18, "Hear Me Lord," the ending of disc 2. Yeah, fantastic song. I thought that worked really well as a finale kind of song. So I'm curious what we're gonna get in here with disc 3 and just the instrumentals here, because that really felt like a real good finale, especially to the thematically. It was a really good end to the non-instrumental portions of the album. Really good end thematically to all the religious stuff he was talking about, of just talking to God after all this, what really was talking about throughout the entire album of like self-acceptance and stuff like that. And of course putting that through the spin of, through God and everything. And I thought it was really good. I thought that worked really well as a finale, tying up the things of the album. But we do have still a whole nother disc left. We got 29 minutes of instrumental to end this off here, so let's see how this ends, because a lot of the instrumental tracks on the McCartney album, I really didn't feel were necessary and stuff, and this is going to be a lot more of that than it was on there. So we'll see if this is really captivates me here with the Apple Jam. So we're starting off side 5, disc 3. We're gonna start off the Apple Jam is what this third disc is called. So we're just gonna be jamming out. I'm assuming there's not gonna be much analysis for me to play here in the instrumental. We're just gonna be, jamming out and see if this is a good jam to end off the album. So track number 19 is Out of the Blue. This is an 11-minute song. Okay, so yeah, we have a big switch up here. We have an 11-minute song followed up by a 49-second song. Okay, so yeah, let's get into this. Track number 19, Out of the Blue. Beginning of the Apple Jam. Starting off hot here, okay. Yeah, the horns, I didn't expect so much of these horns on this album. I'm not gonna lie to you. I expected the guitar to be great. The drums have been great on this album. I don't know which of these songs instead of Ringo worked on, but the drums on this are great. Yeah, it's a nice chill song. Ooh, with a little jazz element. Okay. Hard to get more distorted and stuff, it seems like, as the song goes on. Kind of tone it down here a little bit here. I feel like we toned it down a lot more than what we were getting on. We were really getting into a groove there. Now we kind of switched it up, toned it down a little bit. I'm sorry I don't have really much to say about this song. I feel like the song did not have to be 11 minutes long. I'm kind of concerned I'm not going to like the entire Apple Jam. Like, it's a good instrumental, but it doesn't have to be 11 minutes long. I feel like I'm really concerned about this first song. This 11 minutes, this is the biggest one, 11 minutes long. That I'm not going to like the entire Apple Jam. Let's hope that's not the case. Hopefully the other ones grip me in more. Now we're really building up, okay. Now we're really building up to the last minute here. Seems like we're really building up here in one of the last 40 seconds of the song. Alright, so that was a track number 19, Out of the Blue. Yeah, I feel like it just was really unnecessary to me. Like, the instrumental wasn't bad, but I feel like it wasn't good enough to be its own 11-minute song on an album. It just didn't feel. I don't know. I'm worried I'm not gonna like the entire Apple Jam. Hopefully, I start jamming along a bit more than the other discs. I just wasn't really jamming to this one that much. It just felt, kind of repetitive at that point. Like, it wasn't really there wasn't as much switch ups as it needed to be as in an 11-minute song. Yeah, it wasn't I don't know. I didn't really care for it that much for it to be such a big song. In my opinion, I don't know. Maybe that's controversial. I don't know. I'm sorry about that, but I don't know. Let's hope Let's hope I have some good feelings about the rest of the Apple Jam. Because I thought Hear Me Lord was a great ending to the album. So let's go. So now we're on to track number 20, which is It's Johnny's Birthday. This is only a 49-second song, so we can play this one real quick here. It's Johnny's Birthday. Who was Johnny? I don't know. John Lennon?
It's Johnny's birthday.
Oh, yeah, there's some lyrics here. Come on now.
And we would like to wish him all the very best. It's Johnny's birthday.
Whoa, why is it getting so distorted? Sounds like some analog horror shit. What the hell's going on here? Like when your VHS is fucked up. Okay, so that was track number 20, It's Johnny's Birthday. Don't have much to say about it. I don't know. This the third disc really feels like it's just leftover shit that you had, like you would get in like a bonus disc, you know? It doesn't feel like it should be on the main album so far, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just what I'm feeling so far. So now we're on to track number 21, which is Plug Me In. We're starting off really hot here once I get with the guitar. See, this seems like a little more like deserving to be its own instrumental track here. This is a lot more jammy of a song. This seems like a real celebratory type beat. I don't know why, the song kind of reminds me of the song Birthday off the White Album. Maybe because I just heard It's Johnny's Birthday. Because that kind of reminds me of a birthday celebration song. I don't know. Drums are going crazy on this one. The drums have been better on this album than I expected them to be, this whole album. Okay, so that was track number 21, Plug Me In. I felt like that, sorry. I feel like that was a lot more deserving of being its own instrumental track than Out of the Blue, especially because it was a lot shorter and stuff. Yeah, like I just felt like if you're gonna have really long instrumental tracks, I feel like there has to be more of a reason to them. I feel like Out of the Blue was just boring, not gonna lie to you. That one was a lot more, energetic and stuff, and it was shorter. And I liked that instrumental track a lot more than the Out of the Blue. So we're on to the penultimate track now. Track number 22, which is I Remember Jeep. I don't know what's with these titles. These titles, I don't know what he's going for with the titles as we go on here, but yeah. The song's 8 minutes long too, so hopefully this one's a bit more interesting throughout than Out of the Blue. It's already starting off really interesting. I don't even know what the hell. I feel like I'm in a desert. POV, you're inside a washing machine. Well, fucking spaceship sounds here, okay. Star Wars type song. I'll appreciate it. I like the spaceship sounds. Fucking sounds like we're firing off some blasters. I think this track is at least like pretty different instrumentally. In terms of the beginning, it was like, I don't know what that was at the very beginning. Like this is painting a picture in my mind, you know? I feel like this could be used as like a, I don't know, it's just because the sounds sound like fucking blaster sounds in Star Wars. I just imagine this song being, like, like used as like an introduction scene, like during the opening credits of a sci-fi movie. See, this is a guitar that I can get behind. The guitarist in this song sounds like it's fucking singing by itself. So like once again, I feel like we haven't had a big switch up in this song. It used to be like the same thing over and over again for 8 minutes long. It's like, okay, why does this have to be 8 minutes, man? I feel like we kind of got the point. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Like, the guitar is good. I love the futuristic sounds on this. It's like, I don't even know what I'm listening to there. I don't know what instrument was used to make all these noises back in 1970. Where's the end? Okay, I like the ending there. How like it built up and then like the voices at the end. So yeah, that was track number 22. I Remember Jeep. Yeah, I like the elements of that track. The beginning and the end were a bit different, and also I like the, sci-fi kind of noises that were happening throughout. I just feel like once again, I don't think that's not gonna any reason to be 8 minutes long really. At the end, guitar was good, but I feel like it would have been better. The Plug Me In has been the best one so far because it didn't drag out. So when I was enjoying the song, once I started, getting kind of bored, it ended. I feel like this one, he just keeps going on and on. Like, I don't feel like that instrumental was that much better than Plug Me In for it to be that much longer, So now we're on to the final track on this album, which is track number 23, which is Thanks for the Pepperoni. Sometimes you just gotta thank someone for the pepperoni. I gotta appreciate it. This is the final track on the album. Let's go. Is Chuck Berry? Chuck Berry beat. Yeah, this is not straight up a Chuck Berry beat. Am I tripping? Why is this song called Thanks for the Pepperoni, by the way? I want to know the stories behind these title names. Alright, so that was the 23rd and final track of this album, Thanks for the Pepperoni. Once again, I didn't really have much of a reaction to that song. It really sounded like a Chuck Berry song at the very beginning, did it not? I don't know. I thought it really sounded like a Chuck Berry song to the point that I thought he was just doing a Chuck Berry song cover or something, but no, it just sounded a lot like it. Because Chuck Berry kind of does that same exact riff every single song that I've heard from him. So yeah, so that's the ending of the entire album of All Things Must Pass. What I say, if when I re-listen to this album, I'm probably just going to listen to the first two discs. The Apple Jam really felt like it was something that you would see in, like, if you got like a deluxe edition of an album. It really didn't seem like something that needed to be on the main album. I feel like this very easily should have just been a double album, because the first two discs are fantastic. That's what I'm going to be reviewing here, because that was the main part of the album, and that was a fantastic part of the album. Really good, the first two discs, especially disc 1. Disc 1 was better than disc 2, I think. But, I mean, both were good. Especially disc 2 really picked up towards the end there with, this is a really good stretch right here. From All Things Must Pass to Hear Me, Lord, that was a really good stretch. And the very beginning of the album is a really good stretch right here. Just the entire first side. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'd say, yeah. So if I'm releasing, I would just listen to the first two discs. I feel like we had a really good thematic through line throughout the entire thing of like the talking about religion and self acceptance and moving on from the past, or the kind of the theme of the title of the album. And I feel like we had also just some good love songs jammed in there, because why the hell not. Yeah, I feel like the first two discs, that's a perfect album, in my opinion, damn near. Of course, not every song is perfect on there, but I thought it was a really, really good, I think far better than the McCartney album that I listened to start off. And I think, is this better than any actual Beatles albums? I don't know, I have to re-listen and reconsider it. Probably better than the early Beatles albums. The later ones, maybe not, but the early ones, I think 100%. And I thought "Hear Me Lord" is a great way to end the album, which is why I would personally end there. Isn't It a Pity is one of the best songs I've ever fucking heard, so I'm not mad at it having two versions of the album. Art of Dying was a really good, really deep song. All Things Must Pass, the title track, was really good. I don't know what was going on this forward stretch. I don't really know about what was going on there, especially with the Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp. But like this right here for disc 1. Whoo! Insane, dude. My Sweet Lord is a banger, dude. Of course, the original Isn't It a Pity. What Is Life was really good. I really loved the beginning. When starting off with I'd Have You Anytime, that's a really good way to get into the album, I think. I think this stretch is when this stretch right here, it kind of went down from the beginning, and then it picked up right back up towards the end here. And then we got into the Apple Jam, which I wasn't as big of a fan of. But yeah, so that is All Things Must Pass by George Harrison. If you want to see more of my reactions to Beatles solo albums, I will keep doing them on this channel. We're going to try to do more of these. And if you want to see my reactions to all the Beatles albums, I have them on this playlist on my channel called Beatles Journey. Make sure to subscribe to Lyric Reacts Music if you want to see more. And that'll be about it. Bye. Overall, my top 3 tracks on this record are number 3, the title track, All Things Must Pass, number 2, My Sweet Lord, and number 1, Isn't It a Pity, version 1, and my least favorite track on this is Out of the Blue. Stay tuned for next time, as we'll be checking out the Plastic Ono Band self-titled album.